Hey, I'm going to talk about arpeggiated melodies. And what I always like to do is to choose a very simple melody and then demonstrate what I want you to learn from this video. So the song that we are going to pick is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And what I try to demonstrate in this video is different ways to play the melody, for example, by using arpeggios. Or if you combine it also with the left hand. Or because right now I'm using four fingers, you can also do 3. Or even 2. Or what I just did with one, how do you say that? Like 1 first and then 2, like this. And everything can be combined with the left hand color blocks, arpeggios. Another example of a simple melody that is very famous is, for example, Pirates. Let me think about this. Sorry. So learning this skill can help you play certain melodies arpeggiated in real time. So you know the melody. And it requires you to know the chords of the song. So that would be those are some examples, and I will try within my best power to explain this so you can do this as well if you know about chords, if you know about arpeggios, and so the first step is to understand the melody and the chord. So when we go back to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, we have the C major chord, and then we go to F major and back to C major. Let's just stick with that for a second because that is something we can work with. The melody is, let's just play it with one finger. That is the melody of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And to add a second note, like an interval to the melody, the best way to do that is to choose a random other note within that chord. So when we play C major, you have two other options. You play the C, and to play in, you have three options if you want another C. But basically, if you want to create a little bit more harmony, you can choose for the 3 or the 5th. The 3 would be the E, and the 5th would be the G. So you can choose between the two, and that is the same when we're going to play the F major in a minute. So for example, I'm choosing for E. And then the melody goes to, and I'm choosing C as the accompanying interval. So we have to start, and then it moves to this, etc. So we are here, both in the C major chord. Then we move to the F major, because we're going to play this. This is the melody. You can choose for F as the accompanying interval, or the C. Both sound good. It's up to you what to use. And then when it moves from F major, it moves here back to C major. F major and C major. So let's start. Sometimes this can become quite overwhelming, so I try to repeat these things as much as possible. In a good balance for you to digest information as well. So let's start over again. We start at the beginning. That's our melody. And we have right now chosen a second note with it. Let's add a third step. We are going to use chords now, because 3 different tones creates a chord. 2 different tones is an interval, just to keep that clear. Our melody starts at G, so what we can do is either play C, E, and G, which is the C major chord, or if I don't know if that would fit. Yeah, if your hand is big enough, you can even do this. Sorry, I just said that the melody starts at G, but of course it starts at C. So, yeah, that's not possible. We only have one option. So, let's do this. To play the chord, we play the 1 in the melody, this from the C major chord, and we play in our right hand the 3 in the 5th. And together that sounds like this. It will sound like this. So let's start at the beginning. Then here is our melody, and we build it out with our 3 and the 1, because the melody is in the 5. How do you define where is the melody? Because you are in the C major scale, and then you count from C till the melody. C is 1, because it's C major. 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you start, the C is the 1, or the first melody, the first note of the melody is the 1, and then the G is the 5. I think that makes sense, right? Then we go to F major and back to C major. So what are we doing in F major? We have the A in the melody, which is the third of F major. F major is F, A, C. Doesn't matter where you play it, it is just the same chord. So we play an inversion of that chord. You can forget about the word inversion. That is not what I'm intended to teach in this video. But in fact it is an inversion. So F, A and C, but we play the A in the melody, so we play still the F major chord. And we go back to C major chord. C, E, G. Okay. Let's try that. In my left hand, I'm just playing octaves, playing bass. C, you can also go down if you want. Here. But that's up to you. It's your own taste, and it would be great not to follow what I'm doing, but to develop your own taste so you know what you're doing, and it helps developing your ear. Okay, let's try to do four fingers in the right hand to accompany the melody. So again, the melody with one note is this, with one finger. And then with 4 fingers it will be. And then in the next step we're going to arpeggiate. But first we stick to the stacked chords. So we have the melody in the C, and we build the chord downwards, basically. We don't have enough fingers to have multiple options here, so we just stick with this. Then the melody goes to the G, and we build again the full chord going downwards. We're still in C major. And then we make the move to F major, so we use the chords from F, A and C. So we start at the melody, which is the A, and we only use the keys from F, A and C. So going downwards, the first one you see is F, and then the first one you see is C, and then the first one you see is A. So that chord would be little side note, I used to play this chord with my middle finger for years, but then a music teacher told me that using your ring finger is a more natural hand shape. So I really had to do a lot of exercises to get that out of my system, and now it feels better. So what I had to do, we're coming back to the video, but what I had to do was these kind of exercises. Or from C. So you can see that I use the ring finger, but I used to play it like this. My middle finger, but as you can see, my hand looks less natural. But if I use my ring finger, my hand looks more natural, even though I'm playing the same middle finger and ring finger. And of course, the ring finger is like the finger that has the least strength, I guess. So yeah, it helps doing this practice. And this is a very decent speed. If you do this for the first time, it should be really at this. Etc. Okay, so where were we in the exercise? We were at the F major scale chord. So building the chord downwards is what helps you to create a successful, nice sounding stacked chord. And the next in line is the G again. We're playing in C major again. And then the next chord can be up to you if you choose for this or this. Whatever sounds better to you. This one sounds better with the bass. But the second one I played was F major. Sounds more round, more warm, more less complex. Okay, so let's let's do F major. So you start with the F and you go down C, A, F. Let's do the same for G7, because that would be then the melody would be in the seventh of the chord. So the chord would be not 3 tones to choose from, but 4. So it would be G, B, D, F. This is option 1, or this is option 2. I have to think. When you play this G in the bass. It's also up to you what sounds better. This or so your thumb is either playing the root note. The root is the G, or it plays the F, which is the 7th, but it's also the melody. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's move to the next one. E in the melody, and then you build the chords downwards. C, G, E, and then D. We're for the first time in G major. If you consider that, yeah, it's not the first time, but anyway. D in the melody, building downwards is B, G, and D. And C in the melody, C, G, E, C. So again, everything from scratch. Sorry. With a left hand, If you want to arpeggiate your left hand using color blocks, you can do this. This is one of the color blocks that I teach. It's the red one, and you can use the same pattern across all white keys. So you can use this pattern from C, but you can also use it from F. And you can also use it from G and from C. Now together with both hands. Let's play it here. Let me play it half time so it makes more sense. Let me think. Now we're going to do the final step, which is arpeggiating the melody. We're going to use the block chords using 4 of our fingers. And while this is slightly more advanced, I think it's good for anyone to learn it, at least the theory behind it and how to do it, because yeah, I think it's very beautiful. So we play the melody like this. But we are going to prioritize the melody in the arpeggio. So we can arpeggiate this chord by starting, for example, from the bottom, then going to the top, and going back to the bottom. That is one way of arpeggiating. So to arpeggiate, let's just first arpeggiate this with the chords that we're playing in Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So we're playing C major. Let's play F major. And the other chord we're using is G major. I get distracted with another song that you obviously know. So let's say we would arpeggiate this melody. So that is one example of arpeggiating a melody, but we were playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So how do we do the arpeggiation in combination with the melody? Because there are going to be clashes if you don't take into account the melody that you're playing. Because you can also play arpeggios in both hands, and it sounds interesting for a very long time if you play it organically and play dynamics and speed like you're playing like the ocean's waves, you're following the movements of the waves. Then it can sound like, if you're only doing arpeggios, it can sound like this, to very intense. But if you want to incorporate a melody, the thing you need to do is to prioritize the melody. So in Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, you need to build the arpeggios around the melody. So if we are playing this, we're gonna have a problem with the second high C that we're playing. Sorry, the third one. This is the first one, second, and the third cannot be played because exactly in that moment we're gonna have a G. So our whole hand needs to move from that position to the other position. And how do you do that? You just move your hand. It's that simple. But to keep that smooth, it requires training, of course. Let's do that a little bit faster. So I noticed with the first time that I played, I did it like this. So I would skip one note. So you can do that, but it's not really necessary. I will try to distinguish the two options. That's one option, or the other option is... and now I played it wrong. No. Yeah, okay. Now I understand why I'm doing that. Because the why I am skipping the G it makes the jump a little bit easier. Because if your middle finger is still playing here and your next note is this one, it's very hard to make the legato. So because of the limitation of the hand, you have to change that, and I didn't mention that. So let's do that again in slow motion. You see the difference? I will now only play the right one. There's not really a right or wrong, actually, because if you're playing at a slower speed, it will be possible also. If you play at this speed, it is also possible. So it depends on your style. It depends on what you want to play. And yeah, I also try to break down what I'm doing actually and why. And as you can notice, I'm a little bit inconsistent with my chord choices. So yeah, there are a lot of options possible in music, of course, at all times. And the idea behind this video was for you to create a first step towards arpeggiating your melodies, and to apply them in real time to the melodies you want to play. And I hope that this contributed to yeah, improving 1% every day, because it's really about that. It's not about a performance. It's really about making a progress every day. And I try to remove friction between you and the piano that you might have in the corner of your room collecting dust. And if you find it helpful, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to enjoy free piano lessons. And if you want a more personalized approach to your piano learning experience, you can join our community full of piano and enthusiastic players supporting each other every day. So that would be nice. And other than that, looking forward to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.